Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Black Seinfeld, the show about nothing. We started a bit later today because we, meaning BAI, had their own report to the listeners, which was an interesting listen. Bastion, did you take a listen to it?
No, I was busy eating dinner
good.
On my side of the coast.
Good. What did you have for dinner, man? Let's talk about that really quick.
Wingstop. I was too lazy cooking. I made food for the past 3 days, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna take a day off.
Normally it should be the Fridays. Fridays are the day offs, and then you go out with your old lady to whatever
Fridays
restaurant.
are my experiment day. Those are the days I like to try something new because I'm more free, so mentally I'm prepared. You understand? So yeah.
Free meaning how? Like free and experimenting
free day.
with food, or just experimenting with going out to try new food?
No, in terms, actually, I don't really try out new foods. Really.
You're in LA, Bastion. You're supposed to.
That's not necessarily true.
Here you go.
Because everything costs money, so everything is up. So trying new food where groceries could be a lot cheaper, and also you want to learn how to cook better, so you're going to experiment more. And Friday, I'm not doing a lot of my own personal work, so by the time it hits 4 p.m., I could start cooking. By the time it's 6:30, everything's done. So I'm taking my time experimenting with new foods. And yeah, that's how I do it. You know, I don't really like to go out and eat. I wasn't really raised like that to go out and eat all the time, so I really don't like to do that. So once I find that spot, aka Wingstop, you know, I usually get the wings, but I switched it up and got the boneless because I wanted to eat it with some rice.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say I tried the thighs today.
No, they don't have the thighs anymore.
Oh wait, they stopped the thighs already?
They stopped the thighs. Yes, the thighs. The wing. You know, we don't advertise for Wingstop whatsoever. But
Wingstop
I could just
is
say
gross to me, at least, depending on where you
Wingstop,
go.
lemon pepper, and I was eating it at Queens a lot, and it was pretty good. I never had any duds, luckily.
Well, I mean, when Rick Ross makes a song about it, then you know
Yeah.
how really good they are.
So the thighs, lemon pepper were so on point because I'm a big fan of bone-in thighs
And dark meat.
and dark meat, and it was really good. So it's funny because I ate it in LA last year. Then when I came here officially to move, I ordered it. I tried to order, and it's like, where's the thighs? I went on Reddit, and it's like, oh, you know, they discontinued it in May, in like February. It's like, oh, this is
Really?
and they switched it up with the thigh bits, which is I'm not a fan of. We're talking about food out here, but
That's what we do here at Black Seinfeld, man. We always talk about food, politics, NFTs, technology, music. That's the commonality that we have here at Black Seinfeld. I think the listeners dig it. If you don't know, you should know. This is Black Seinfeld, the show about nothing. I'm Trinidadi, Panamanian Poppy, Rude Boy, Top Gunner, Sakpanyamada, Giovanni Anglin. Sorry for the chaotic entrance and the chaotic ways that we start because, hey, I mean, the show before you that you were listening to live on BAI was a bit more chaotic than normal. You know, things would have been a lot more smoother, but hey, you know, that's the nature of the beast. That's the nature of BAI. So you get a chaotic entrance, which is a show about nothing, which is the essence of Black Seinfeld.
Yes, and I'm Bastionissa, recording live from LA. Gio is in Brooklyn.
And we thank you so much for staying with us at midnight to 2 o'clock every Thursdays. Happy August to everyone. But also, we want to let you know that this is available for all podcasting platforms. So please, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Audible, Podomatic, Pandora. Wherever podcasts are available, we are available on damn near all the podcasting platforms. So please, just Google us, Black Seinfeld. We pop up. That's how nice we are. We're nice like that, okay? #1 on Google now. You know the vibes. You know the tings. Let them know, Bastion. Humble brag for us real quick.
Yeah, we're trying to be out there. One of the biggest things we're doing right now is bringing back our YouTube channel.
That's
I've
right.
been working on it for the past 2 weeks, and I think officially it's almost done. I think everything's pretty much unlisted. I just haven't put it on YouTube just yet. So I think everything should be there on Friday. Then from now on, everything should be up to date every Friday.
Yes.
So if you're the type of person that likes to listen to podcasts through YouTube, because I'm that type of person too, you could also start subscribing to our channel. Just type in Black Seinfeld on YouTube, and you'll be able to see our stuff. We're gonna start recording soon. I'm still testing out the recording.
Yes.
On my side,
my audio was bad last time.
Yes. One of the episodes that we recently updated and added onto the channel was our review for Nope.
Yes, the Jordan Peele movie, the third movie that he has created that came out last week.
And I didn't want to discuss it on live radio, still new, and I still want people to go check it out for themselves. But if you did see the movie, feel free to go on our YouTube channel and check out our review. And what Gio was saying is right. Like, we're still testing out this new technology, and his vocals came out really bad. But luckily, it took me 2 hours to fix it. Not his vocals, but the way the system works. So everything should be good to go. We're still testing out the recording feature.
But then
you'll be able to see our beautiful faces on YouTube all the time.
I also did send you my vocals as well that I also recorded too. Did those come out better or no?
Oh, those are the ones I ended up using.
Okay, yeah.
So I used the vocals that you submitted to me. So,
okay,
yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, like we said, it's trial and error, so we're trying to get this thing down to a T. And as Bashan said, go to our YouTube, Black Seinfeld, subscribe to us so you can see our sexy faces.
Yeah. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach us out on our blackseinfeldny@gmail.com.
That's right, blackseinfeldny@gmail.com. Leave us any questions, any music suggestions you have. If you have a comment, just, hit us up. Say, hey, we enjoy the show, or hey, we hate the show. Those are my favorite emails.
Well, what's been going on with you? How's your week going?
I've been doing well. It's August. It's somewhat of the final months of summer, and I'm here for it. I'm starting to see some of the leaves changing already, so that's a good sign for me because, again, we're still with this heat wave, and it's kicking my ass, and I'm feeling dehydrated. Although I'm drinking as much water as possible, it's not working for me, at least. I don't know why. I think I should be drinking more, but
you should be eating more fruits.
That's overrated.
No. See, fruits is the original, like, quench thirster. It's like thirst quencher. We spent so many centuries and millennia to create fruits from nothing into like just water dense products where we need to consume other resources of nutrients that besides just water. Like, so fruits is definitely one of them. This is WBAI too, so I'm pretty sure there's a couple of radio shows that also discuss the importance of fruits. So people, just in case you feel down and you feel like the water's not helping you, just eat a slice of watermelon, for example. That's definitely filled with a lot of water and nutrients and can hydrate you real quick. I actually had a story about that when I went to Italy, and I was just dying from the heat. It's just nice out there. And just passed by in a park, and this person it's like a big cart of just watermelon straight up, and the dude was just slicing and giving it out to people. Wasn't that expensive, so I got one piece for myself. Once I ate the whole thing, I was just rejuvenated. I was good to go. Walk another 2 hours with no problem under the heat. So yeah, it's crazy. Fruits, I'm telling you.
Wednesday, it was actually National Watermelon Day. Did you have any watermelons?
No, I don't eat watermelons here. Everything sucks.
Wait, hold on.
Suck out here, man.
It's not in season? I know, like, LA's supposed to be, like, in season for a lot of stuff, like strawberries.
That's not how it works.
I thought y'all know for your strawberries.
I'm sorry to tell you this, Gio, but even though society has figured out how to grow certain fruits all year round, those fruits aren't good all year round. They're really good, like, one season a year.
Right, of course. But I thought, for example, berries were good around this time of the year. Am I wrong in that, especially in LA?
Not necessarily true. It has nothing to do with LA.
Okay.
It has to do with like shipments and the type of strawberries you get. So, it could be straight up a miss this year, and everything tastes super sour in my local grocery stores, which is like not the best and not the worst. It's just middle tier.
Mid-tier?
Yep, just mid-tier. That's it. It's like they give you most of the things you need.
Just the essentials.
Just essentials. Like I got the strawberries and I didn't turn it into a juice like I always do, like I used to do. Throw some strawberries, ice, water, sugar, done. That's your juice for the day. It's delicious. I can't do that. It tastes sour.
Mm.
I'm just basically like drinking like a Jolly Rancher strawberry flavor. So
And I guess the perception of LA really lied to me because I thought y'all
there's
was
no perception. I don't know where you get this
very,
perception of farm fresh foods.
oh
It's
my
still the
God,
city.
I'm very health conscious and I'm
You sound
vegan
like a New
and I
Yorker from
hike
Brooklyn now.
and I hike and we go hiking and avocados and strawberries. I thought that was LA.
That's kind of strange. You're describing an average Brooklyn person.
Unfortunately, I didn't say farmers market. That would have been definitely Brooklyn right there.
We do have farmers market in Queens. I mean, yeah, in Queens because it's closest to Long Island, and you guys
Hold
probably
on,
do have it in Brooklyn.
we? No, 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 no. I do. You don't.
You obviously don't go because you don't eat fruit, so yeah,
Touche.
yeah.
Touche.
But in terms of just things that we discussed last week, I think one of the biggest things we were talking about was the millions. Actually, the Mega Millions.
That's
and
right.
how it went up to like 1.2 billion at the end, or like 1.4.
Correct.
Around there at the
Yes.
end. And did you buy more numbers or just the ones you got?
So I only bought 2 tickets worth of numbers, so $20 worth of tickets, 5 numbers each. The first 5, I told you what I was gonna do. I was gonna hand pick all of those numbers, and then the next ticket I was gonna do the quick picks, which is basically a randomizer. They just give you 5 random numbers and then the mega ball, right? So I got my tickets or whatever that Friday afternoon. Uh, I believe the drawings like it shuts down at like after 8 p.m. and then the drawing is like around 11. So I made sure I got what I needed to get and I continued my Friday evening. Then I got home, went to sleep, checked the tickets in the morning, and I saw the winning number. And so I was like, hey, wait a minute, wait a second. These numbers look a bit similar to what I handpicked myself. Because again, people, I had a strategy. My strategy was to study the winning numbers from all the winning tickets and, pick within those ranges. And so when I saw 13, 36, 45, it was like what, 56, 57 or something like that. I knew for a fact that the first number I did pick was 13. I knew I had it somewhere, so I looked at my ticket and I was like, "Oh, damn, I got 3 numbers. I didn't get all of them, but I only got 3 of them." So, I was close, damn it. And then I think like the fourth number was like 56 or something, but I had 57. Yeah, I was tight. I was upset. But I came close, man. I came really close. And apparently, Bastion, we do now have one winner who won the $1.2 billion, the second largest jackpot in lotto history.
Yeah, who won?
And it went out to someone living in Chicago. So you know what that means, damn it. This is a black person. This is someone who is of color, and I'm excited. I am happy for them. No one has claimed the ticket yet. So
They have like 1 year to claim it, right?
depending on the state that they're in, each state has different rules to into which they can claim it. In New York, you have up until a year. I don't know how it is in Illinois. I didn't check the Illinois rules.
Interesting.
Yeah, each state varies. So some states it can be up to 90 days, some can be up to a year, some could be up to half a year, but I'm not too sure about Illinois. But what's interesting, Bastion, is if you take the lump sum after all of the taxes, right? State taxes, federal taxes, the lump sum is around 430 million. Then
Oh,
that's half
400?
if you take the lump sum. And when you take the lump sum, the government, like Uncle Sam, likes to come in, take taxes.
So that
And
means you pay
states like to
all
come
the
in,
tax
take
straightforward.
right. And
Okay.
here's what I don't appreciate, okay? Because this is a black man, okay, who is now a billionaire, or a black woman, or someone of color who's a billionaire potentially, right?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Why you got to take their billions away, huh? Jeff Bezos is out here not paying any goddamn taxes. Elon Musk is out here not paying any goddamn taxes, but you take it away from the person of color, okay, who's earned their money by being the one in 302 million person who had this chance of winning the damn lotto, huh?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
you taking it away from them, huh? Why you giving them 430 million? Although that's a huge number, that's still a good number to have, okay? That's still a good money to keep. That's still life changing. But I'm just saying, you basically take away like 800 mil from them. 800
That's
mil.
it's very interesting.
That is very interesting. Meanwhile, Jeff Bezos is out here free than a mother lover out here, and he doesn't have to pay any goddamn taxes. I don't appreciate that.
Yeah. So what you want is you want value to be taxed no matter what, even if it's in stocks. They still have to pay taxes, not even after they sell.
No, I want the taxes to be equal, okay?
No, no, that's what I'm talking about. Explaining how to be equal. So
Oh,
that
okay.
means,
Okay.
Gio, that means you're fine with, like, let's say you didn't sell your shares of your stocks, and it goes up to like 400,000. They didn't sell yet. You still have to pay taxes on that 400,000.
I mean, hey, isn't that why Razzle Khan is locked up?
So no, it's not. But it's not at all. But that's kind of how it works. So you're pretty much paying taxes on your gains even if you don't sell. You're
Hmm.
fine with that. I'm
Hmm.
fine with that. I just won't. I'll just stop investing altogether.
Damn. I guess I'll be cool with that. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
People
fine with
won't.
that.
Yeah, people won't. Just
Of
letting you
course,
know.
people won't.
It will.
But people won't allow it because you know why? They have damn power, okay? They're connected with all these politicians and all that stuff. And that's why they don't have to pay these taxes, Bastion. That's
They're
why,
in too
because they
deep.
hold power.
They're in too deep. Their money is too deep into all that. So that's how
Exactly.
these billionaires are billionaires.
Exactly.
And
By, being capitalists.
that's just the game. That's just the game.
That is just the game. But also, Bastion, I want to say before we move on, there has been some other winners that won the Mega Millions. Not so much like the jackpot, the Mega Million jackpot, but they've matched all five numbers, so you get like $1 million. And if you get the Mega Plier correct, it'll multiply. So I believe the Mega Plier was times three this time around. So some people are getting $3 million, and there was one person who did win out in the Bronx. So congratulations to them. Get the hell out.
Move out the same day.
Run. I run. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. You are in the Bronx. Run. Get out of there.
Just disappear real quick.
Disappear
Or take a
immediately.
week, but don't tell anybody. Just
Yeah.
chill.
Don't tell a soul. All
Do
right.
the same things you've been doing.
There's a reason why Joaquin Phoenix and them were filming over there. All right. It is Gotham over there. So be careful. But I just wanted to say that to give some people a little bit of hope, or just to let people know, like, hey, the lotto ain't that rigged. Okay. It's not rigged because there's some people that actually win. Like, I remember one time there was this truck driver from Brooklyn who won like $200 million. And there's a lot of winners that come out of New York too. I'm assuming it's due to the high density population.
Everybody's dreams in the numbers.
That is true, man. You know what else is a high due to the fact that we have high density. You know what else is high right now? The
No,
goddamn monkeypox.
clumsy transition, but I get it.
Clumsy. Hey man, I'm tired. This has been a clumsy day so far. It's been a
Yes.
sporadic day. We were supposed to be here at 12 o'clock. We were here at 12:02.
Hey, we can't control everything, especially how monkeypox is spread throughout the city. Because
Yeah.
not just New York, but pretty much all throughout the United
True.
States.
But New York the worst. New
LA
York the
too.
most.
LA too. Surprisingly.
Yeah, but however, there's around what 6,000 confirmed cases going on right now in America, and 1,000. Well, I'm sorry, 1,600 of those are allocated to us here in the city. So that's like 1/6 of confirmed cases going on. So it's really bad over here, okay, in the city because of the congestion and all that. You got to remember, you're in California now, so that is spread out. Okay, you're a
Yeah.
big state, Bastion. We're not. I'm still on an island here. You're actually on like land. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, very interesting. You know what else is interesting? The way the government's been treating this whole situation, because the whole in for as long as for the past 2 years, we always discuss COVID and how Trump dealt with it, and wondering if Hillary was president, would she deal with it the same way? And if Biden was president, how he would deal with it. Of course, all of last year, he didn't really deal with it. And now we have something else that's another type of virus that's going on, and there's ways to treat it. But the problem is, there's not a lot of doctors that want to test for it. So if you're not
Yeah.
testing for it, you can't treat for it. So now you just gotta just chill on vibes, right? For the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Chilling on vibes on monkeypox is crazy that you just said that.
And then, well, we do have vaccines, but for the past couple of weeks, it's been focused for people in the LGBTQ community,
Yes.
which itself I think is just outrageous to call it a quote unquote like a gay virus that
Yeah.
that is like a STI, but it's not an STI. It's due to skin to skin contact, especially if this person has like blisters. That's how it spreads amongst people. So like going to the gym, you can still get it if you don't wipe down the equipment. So it's kind of crazy. That's the direction that they're going because of this, how the story started and how certain people had monkeypox.
Wait, how did the story start?
No, just like they explain it on social media. They go to the doctor. When a doctor asks you, it's like, are you sexually active and where you been, what you've been doing. That's kind of how it goes, and you report it to the CDC. Then the CDC, reports it to the rest of the world. Then you have networks like Fox News that will just create random fake stories out of nowhere without any backing, and now that's the information that people are using. So I do find it very embarrassing that the CDC isn't doing enough. It's on their website. Like, just hop on their website. They explain everything to you.
Oh
but they're
yeah,
not.
I checked it out on the CDC.
Yeah, they explain how it works, but they're not pushing it. It's not out in public. They're not forcing it on like the radios or TV shows to be correct.
I feel like also they emphasized it a bit. I feel like they emphasized a bit more as well on certain ways that you can get the monkeypox, because yes, they do the skin to skin contact and touching and hugging, but they emphasize a lot on bodily fluids, sexual intercourse, stuff like that. Anal intercourse, oral intercourse, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Bodily fluids. What they're trying to figure out is, oh, can it be passed through semen? But I guess to me it makes no sense if it can be passed through bodily fluids, and semen's bodily fluid. That's just me. But hey, what do I know? I'm not a scientist. I just ask questions.
So they're getting very specific, and that's good, right? It's
Yes.
good to get very specific, but what are you going to do about it? So if someone comes up to the doctor and say, hey, I think I have monkeypox, and their doctor said, we don't test for that. It could be something else.
Right. Or,
Then,
or
then,
they can say, get away from here. I don't want to touch you.
no, they can't say that. Then, you can sue them to make some money, over the
That's a
summer.
joke, Bastion.
Some quick
Joking.
buck. I don't know. You could be right. Another way for them to say get away from me is like, we don't test for that, or you don't have it. I read a lot of random reports, especially on like,
Misdiagnosis. Yeah, that's pretty common in the medical field, misdiagnosis. I've also seen a lot of TikToks, especially with this one guy who got the monkeypox, and he had to go to like 3-4 different doctors to confirm that it was actually monkeypox, because some doctors didn't know how to treat it, or they still didn't really know about it. Which I don't know, Bastion. How do you feel about that some doctors just didn't know about it, so it was an excuse to dismiss him?
well, I've been thinking about this since COVID, right? And
Okay.
you have to think back to early 2020 with the nursing home situation, right? That's the thing that got our governor out of here, if you remember.
I do remember our former governor.
Yes.
That
And
and the other things, but
yeah, and the other things. That that was the main thing that pushed, and everything else came after.
That was the
Sadly enough,
caveat. That was the
yeah.
cherry on top.
So a lot of the nursing homes that had COVID just spread, and it killed a lot of people in those nursing homes, a lot of elderly people. And the way the doctors reacted and the nurses reacted, it's like they knew the information, or they didn't know enough about the information, and then they didn't do anything fast enough. It was just too late. So the same way about if you work a position at a job and they send you a memo, you have to read the memo the same day, or it's on your ass. Like, they're going to get at you for not reading the memo. You would think doctors work the same way. It's like you spent 8 years, 5 years residency, then a couple years at a hospital, then you open your own practice. You should have at least 15 years of practice, right?
Right.
Before you make your own privatized place of for a doctor for your own practice, right? And you would have thought that if any new information comes, not technology, they're going to overcharge us with that, but any new information that comes, they should be the first to know and understand it. But it's not necessarily true. They could learn about it 3 weeks, 5 weeks while it's happening, and that's what's happening right now. So I'm not sure if the CDC isn't clear enough with the doctors trying to get more information, or they just don't have a place to do testing, which is one of the biggest issues that happened with COVID. So their way to say it's like, don't come here, is because they might not want to deal with how to get the testing done, because they don't have a way to test yet.
And they don't have the answers yet.
They don't have the answers yet. So I'm trying to say it's like it could not be on the doctors. They just don't want to deal with the liability just yet until they have better ways to test it.
Huh. That's interesting. I feel like a lot of this also, with the emphasis on the LGBT community, I feel like this is like a repeated history with the whole quote AIDS epidemic. Remember that how it became.
I don't remember.
Well,
I can only live through other
you didn't live through, right. I'm not saying we lived through it, but documentaries, and of course Magic Johnson, of course Magic Johnson. But when reading and learning about the AIDS epidemic, a lot of it was associated with the LGBTQ community. Then Magic Johnson got it, and then that sort of changed and shifted just a little bit. But I feel like this is sort of the same thing, and I felt like this is a big no-no. This should be a big no-no, because some people are on the low, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna spread if you want to go that route, you know what I'm saying?
I guess so, but I don't think that's like the correct way to go at it.
It's not the correct way to go about it, but I'm just using their logic against them, right? Because they're just putting it on the LGBTQ community, right? But I'm like, bro, I thought of what Donald Glover said in episode 2, season 1 of Atlanta. Sexuality is a spectrum. You can really do whatever you want. So I don't think it should just be shoved on the LGBTQ plus community. I think this should be taken seriously.
Well, the thing is,
everyone.
It shouldn't be taken like a STI. But what they want to do is...
Or it shouldn't be just taken as this is solely a gay thing, or solely a bi thing.
Well, to be clear...
I've been seeing.
Well, to be clear, it's like why it's focused on that first is because that's where the sense of the story and the type of pretty much where it all happened, like where all the announced, like, oh, this person got monkeypox because they were here and so. So they want to deal with that situation first. That's why they started that way. I do disagree that that's not the way to do it, because once we understood more information about it, saying like, oh, these kids got it, what happened? It's because they probably touched something.
Right.
Where they were able to spread. Huh?
And women do have it.
No, that's the thing. Everybody has, everybody could get monkeypox because it's spread through the contact. So they could get it even through touching doorknobs.
Right.
So
like
that's what I mean. That's the problem. It's like you try to start a situation by trying to combat it one way, but that's the worst way to do it. Because now you don't want to combat it the other way around, where you try to give everybody a vaccine, which they all wasted, by the way. America ordered a couple million vaccines and they all just expired, so they weren't able to get it. So
Right.
that shot down.
New York should be getting 32,000. Well, the city should be getting around 32,000 vaccines in the up and coming days, according
So
to our governor.
so that's why they're going to ask you questions to see like what you've been doing, where you at before they offer it to you, because they may want to offer it to someone else that's either like more sexually active or not. Even though, like I said, it's not the proper way to do things,
Right.
but this is like what they know. This is the information that's coming from the top down. I'm not in no way defending how they're doing it. It's really difficult to deal with outbreaks, but I'm kind of surprised that Biden doesn't have like a team. Like I said, I think I complained about this a couple episodes ago. How Barack Obama during the swine flu pandemic, he knew that if swine flu really got bad, it would have been terrible for the United States. It just died out pretty quickly within like 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to set up a contingency plan just in case anything happens. Of
Right.
course, Trump, he defunded it. Then Biden came in. I'm not sure if he did anything to do with it. He probably gave them a little bit more power, but of course the courts could knock it down, which the courts did a couple times.
Yeah.
So what could you do with the monkeypox? It's like if it happens, it happens, and then it's just going to get out of hand. A lot of things are going to go bad, and then we're just going to be like, we could have dealt with it, but it's kind of too late. So, just, vibes. Just chilling with the vibes.
Well, at least we know about it now, right? And at least
No, I don't think we know about anything, to be
no, I
honest.
mean we know that the monkeypox is here,
Oh, yeah, that.
right?
Okay.
At least we know that it's here,
It's your
and
neighbor.
and hopefully, with what we have gone through with COVID, I think I think people are going to. Here's me trying to be the optimist here, which is very rare, right? I think due to what we've gone through with the COVID stuff, I think this one is going to be a bit less severe due to what we have gone through for the past 2 years. That's just me. And plus, we have vaccinations already. So that's also a thing. So I think it's going to be a lot less severe. Fingers crossed.
Our
I
the
don't want
best
to be
case
wrong.
best case scenario, it magically dies out before fall. Best case scenario. And it
Yeah,
happens and it happens before. It happened before.
yeah, maybe it may not last in the cold that long,
Nothing about the cold. It's just like everybody got sick, they stayed home, boom, it was done. And it just stopped spreading.
At least he can't die. There's no been confirmed deaths yet, so
Well, it's treatable if
yeah,
the
just treat
doctors
it.
wants to treat it. So another problem is like post monkeypox and how it affects your body. I think that's what people really need to. It does like post COVID. Like
Right.
I had post COVID for like a good couple months. Heart palpitations, just
Oh,
like
really?
heavy chest when trying to sleep, just small things like that.
And
And a lot of people still suffer from post COVID too.
I know some people can't smell certain things anymore.
Yeah,
Like that's the
exactly,
thing,
exactly.
which I feel like is very unfortunate.
So it's it is a scary situation, and I do find the lack of CDC and politicians doing anything about it. It's sad. It's sad. Like we gotta like wish for politicians to do something. It's like doctors should just up and say, like, "Hey, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we're gonna deal with the situation." But that's not the type of country this is.
Of course, not everything runs around politics
It's a
and money.
state-run country, so it's like one state does something right, the other states was like, "Nah, I'm not going that direction."
That's right. It's like, hey, remember when New York had its lockdown and Atlanta was going crazy?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
good
Oh,
times.
Atlanta, yeah, it didn't shut down, right?
Yeah, hell no, it didn't shut down. Everyone was going to Atlanta.
And people getting sick and like, oh,
Hmm.
I can't go on the plane. How come? Because you're
Hmm.
sick. You got COVID.
Atlanta, Miami, everyone was going crazy over there.
Mexico.
Mexico, right? Tulum. Yeah, that was a nasty time, Bastion. Oh, and when influencers were having their little influencer parties, and like I remember which Kardashian had their birthday, so they had people like fly out to some Caribbean island.
It
Remember
was Kim
that?
Kardashian.
It
Yeah.
was Kim. Mm-hmm. Man, it was nasty.
The worst thing you could do is apologize for it. You're supposed to just like vibe it out and let's not pretend it didn't happen. It's like you threw a party while everybody was like in the pandemic. Like what party?
Oh yeah, you know, a lot
What
of them,
party?
a
Like
lot of
here's the
them ignored the
pictures.
scandals.
Pictures from like 2 years ago.
Yeah, a lot of them ignored the scandals, bro. They didn't care, bro.
She spoke about it. That's why I'm making the joke about like you
Oh
shouldn't.
no, I'm talking about them young white kids influencers. They didn't care. They did not care. They didn't give a damn. They were supposed to be no phones and all that stuff too, but they didn't care. They were still recording wilding out.
They
I
did have
respect it.
here
I
like
respect it.
it's hit or miss because a lot of people had to apologize. It's just how the fans work, right? If you're on TikTok, you have 5 million followers, and you do something like that, your TikTok base is going to turn on you, and that's your money. So you're going to have to apologize. If you say like I'm not with it, you know, then people just leave. People just unfollow, and like that's it.
Yeah. You know who else apologized today?
Who?
Will Smith. He apologized.
Oh yeah, that was a very weird video. I did
It
not
was
watch all of
weird.
it. I just saw its clips.
I saw the whole video. He was just answering a lot of questions that people had for him, a lot of disappointment, a lot of, oh, what did Jada do in this situation? Stuff like that. I felt like it wasn't needed from Will. Will didn't need to do this. It felt a bit too
Pandering.
produced. No, it just felt a bit too produced. Like I know Will is sorry now after, you know, everything that happened and all that stuff, but I feel like, me personally, I don't think Will should have made that video like that, man. I stand with Will. Okay. I don't know. I don't know the beef that he has with Chris Rock, but apparently there's an underlying beef there. I just don't know what it is. Okay. I know friends that went to the Chris Rock Kevin Hart show. Chris Rock didn't mention it at all. He didn't even bring it up.
Yeah.
So he's past it. Chris don't want to talk about it. Chris don't want to talk to Will. He's not in the space to do that yet. That's basically the whole video. Will is sorry to the Academy. Will is sorry. He apologized to Questlove though, which I feel like was fair. He should have apologized to Questlove because he stole his goddamn shine. Damn it.
I
'Cause
don't care about
that
any
was a
of
great
this.
doc.
Yeah, it was a great doc. I loved it.
Okay then. So
But
yeah,
other than that, apologizing for Hollywood critics,
I wasn't rock with that. He apologized to
apologize
the fans. He
to the
apologized to
Academy.
he apologized to his family. He apologized to Jada, which, ugh, whatever. But yeah, I forgive you, Will Smith. I feel like it was a crime that you didn't start with, well, here's a story about how my life got twisted, flipped upside down. I felt like you should have done that and you would have got the people back immediately. That was a lost opportunity.
All right, let's get into the first song of today.
First song of the week. I am playing nothing but summer tunes right now because this is the summertime. This is one of the final months of summer. So I just want to play some of my favorite summer records. That first record that I played was Anderson .Paak, Heart Don't Stand a Chance, off the 2016 album Malibu, which is a certified classic and a certified summer classic, although it came out around January. Always listen to it during the summertime. This song right here came out in 1993, but it's still relevant today because this is 93 Till Infinity from the Souls of Mischief out in Oakland, California. We'll be right back. Thank you all so much. You're tuning to Black Seinfeld, the show about nothing. We are back. That was the Souls of Mischief with 93 Till, all the way from California, Bastion's neck of the woods. Bastion, now when you hear this record, man, does it take you back to the streets of LA?
You keep talking about it, man. You keep talking about it. All right. Every time I play some Biggie, like, does it take you to the streets of Brooklyn?
It actually does. Yes. Yes,
Well,
it does.
Not
Yeah.
those streets. You're not from that time. You're not from that era.
When Biggie was alive, we were alive, right?
No.
When he was popular, we were
When he
alive,
was
sir.
popular, he was
We were
alive.
alive.
We were
Yeah, we were
alive when
alive.
he was
We
a
were babies.
teenager. in
we
the
were babies.
in the late '80s. You're not from the late '80s Brooklyn, bro. I'm just letting
No,
you
no,
know.
of course. But when
I'm just letting you
you
know you're
talking
not
about,
from then. You're
but
not
when
from there.
you said Biggie songs, Biggie tracks, does it take you back to the old times in Brooklyn? Yes, it does, because it was always played in Brooklyn. You know that, Bastion. Well, I wouldn't
His
expect you to know,
Brooklyn isn't
because you're
your
from
Brooklyn.
California. Okay.
All right, so we're gonna discuss music, and the first band I'd like to talk about is Black Midi. They came out with a project called Hellfire, and Black Midi is a band from London. They're known for having a very diverse like genre fusing, so it could be like a mixture of math rock, prog, or post punk and avant-garde jazz. And this album pretty much is like a flavor of different genres altogether. So even the first track called Hellfire, where you have the lead singer, George D. Grip, he does this like beautiful, erratic spoken word poetry, and it's pretty much the whole album pretty much conveys the message of like humans and being frail and aging and death and dealing with like a lot of heavy themes. It's a very interesting album. There's nothing much more I could say about it. It's like it's just very diverse in sound. I do recommend just like hopping into a track like with a blank mind, and you don't know what to expect. And yeah, that's Black Midi. I know you haven't listened to it, Gio, but I do recommend listening to it. Like I said, it's just a very diverse fusion band, and it's very good. Like I said, track like just off of track one, just listen to it, and you could tell it's just very diverse, and they're pretty much going all over the place.
Oh, cool. I've never heard of Black Midi, to be honest. I've never really checked out their music or listened to their music. Am I gonna listen to it after this review? Probably not. I know me. I'm probably not gonna do it. I still have to listen to Quelle Chris, and I still haven't done that yet. So probably not. I'm the type of person that
Well, you know his name, Quelle Chris, so eventually
yeah.
it'll come up on your phone, so then you'll just click play.
No, like I'm the type of person where I have to want to listen to it just because I want to listen to it. Like people tell me about stuff all the time, like The Boys. I've heard about The Boys nonstop, and I've seen all the memes and stuff, but I'm just not ready to watch it. I have to watch it when I'm ready to watch it. And that's how I feel with a lot of just music in general, since it's just so much of it. Like eventually I'll get to it, I'll get into it, but it's just not at my time. It's not at my pace right now.
Interesting. I try to just jump at it anytime I have some free time and just listen to it. And if it's something I could listen to it later in the week when I'm more focused, then I'll go back to it. But if not, then I'll just mark it for another time to go through it. So yeah, Hellfire, Black Midi was definitely had a album like that last year called Cavalcade. And it's very similar to, I heard it like maybe once or twice and I couldn't go back to it because I just didn't have the space for it. But yeah, I definitely understand.
So wait, the name of this album is called Hellfire.
Yeah.
Does this have anything to do with Dungeons and Dragons?
No.
Okay.
No, it has nothing to do with that.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, definitely check it out, people. Black Midi, if you're looking
Black
for
Midi.
some very genre bending music. But yeah.
Okay. Well, we have someone that Bash and I have championed for a while now, Flo Milli. She is back with her new album, Where You Been, Ho? Oh, I'm sorry, You Still Here, Ho? And we've been a big fan of Flo Milli since she's been taking Storm off the internet. Okay. We love her flow. She's from Alabama, dark skin, chocolate, ting ting. We love Flo Milli here at Black Seinfeld. And Flo on this project, she decided to do a little bit of a continuation of this character that she's been portraying. I don't know if y'all have seen the Ice Baby video, which is basically the her portrayal of One New York from I Love New York. And Buddy was in the video as well, playing Flavor Flav, and they actually got Delicious in the video. And there was the scene of the season finale of Flavor of Love Part 2, where Flav dubs New York for a second time and goes with Delicious, and Flo Milli played New York, and she got down New York's mannerisms and speech down to a T. where she showed Flav her ass and all that, and I thought that was a great video. And clearly, Flo Milli is definitely around our age, and she grew up around the reality TV show era, like I Love New York and Flavor Flav. And if you look at the cover of if you still hear Ho, we see that the font is of the I Love New York font. So love that off rip. And on the first track, the first intro track, New York actually spoke. New York gave Flo Milli her flowers, so I already knew we were in for some very conceited, very woman empowerment, but also a lot of goddamn bars. And that's what Flo Milli gave here. She gave some goddamn bars. One of my favorite tracks off rip, gotta talk about it, Bedtime. I know you've heard it, Bastion. You hadn't listened to this album, but you definitely heard Bedtime.
Probably on TikTok or something.
You've heard it on TikTok. A lot of people have heard it on TikTok. It's just nothing but bounce music and just Flo Milli going off. Loved that. Conceited, one of the most popular tracks off the album. Loved Conceited. Pretty Girls, No Face. Oh, of course she has Rico Nasty back on another track. I'm loving the duo of Rico Nasty and Flo Milli, of just them rapping, just them having fun. Okay, we need more of that. We need more women tandems just rapping, having fun. We're getting a lot of that recently in rap music, and I'm a big proponent of that. Instead of them beefing all the time, come together and start rapping a lot more. Okay, don't be like Brandy and Monica. Don't do that. Okay,
it was good for business. Beef
it's
is
good for
business.
Beef is good for business, Bastion. But remember what you said a long time ago. Beef is overrated. So I'm gonna take your advice on that one. So no, we like them to come together, okay?
True.
And
I agree.
unify. Yeah. You damn right you agree. But no, I definitely think y'all should give this a listen. Men, give this a listen, okay? I know a lot of you are like, I don't like women rappers because all they talk about is they poom poom, da da da. Flo Milli got bars, okay? That's not what she's all about, okay? She has personality, she's fun, and she actually has something to say. Braggadocious rap. Y'all like braggadocio rap anyways. So y'all need to stop that, okay? Just because a woman is owning her sexuality. Don't niggas rap about smashing mad chicks and all that stuff too, popping bottles and all that. So why can't this woman talk about, popping poom poom? Let her do that. Feel me? That's misogynistic. I don't respect that.
Bet.
What else have you been listening to, Bastion?
So it was an album we were supposed to talk about last week, but we didn't, kind of ran out of time. It's Joey Badass 2000.
Yes.
And this is pretty much like I could say it's a sequel to his first mixtape project, but also a sequel to his last project that he did, which was called All American
Badass, which
that was like 2017.
Yes, Joey Badass has not dropped a project in 5 years. Okay, but in between those 5 years, he's been doing a lot of acting. The dude won an Oscar for being in a cinematic short. Okay, he's been featured in Mr. Robot a lot. He's been touring. He did the whole Beast Coast collaboration album, which it wasn't really that good, but he did that with the whole Pro Era and Beast Coast and Flatbush Zombies and the Underachievers, all of them that came out back in 2019. So if you want to count that a part of the arsenal, you can, but we didn't get a solo Joey project in 5 years. And I just want to say 2022, I've been thoroughly spoiled, and I'm so happy about that because damn near Bastion, I've gotten every artist that I wanted to come out. I got Kendrick, I got Brent Faiyaz, I got now Joey Badass. Okay, I got damn near everyone that I wanted. The only person I really I said I wanted was JID and SZA, and I'm good. So I just want to thank all the artists for dropping this year, and thank you for continuously blessing me, because Bastion is still out here starving, for a Frank Ocean album, and he has not gotten it. So, I could be like him, but I'm not. And I just want to thank y'all for dropping albums this year. 2022 has been a great year.
Okay, what's your thoughts on the album, bro?
Okay, so my thoughts on 2000. As you said, this is more of a sequel to 1999. Not so much for All American Badass, because All American Badass, that was a heavily political album. It was definitely on the times that, this was like the first official year of Donald Trump in office.
Also, it was like an album too, where they have
Yes.
like your hits, your single, song, rap songs, and
Yes,
Yep.
but it was an overarching theme because of course, it was police brutality, and of course Donald Trump was in office, but this was like his first year in office, so it was more funny than anything, but it was still a bunch of shock that he was actually president. Of course, it touched on police brutality and the fact that while we as black people live here in America, does America really love us due to all of the oppression and stuff that we face within this country? So that was the duality of All American Badass, and him sticking up the middle finger in the photo, and the different sort of design within the American flag in that photo as well. 2000, I feel like 2000, it brings it back to Brooklyn. It brings it back to what people like Joey Badass for, which was that old school 90s boom bap sound that people like 1999 for. But I think, in my humble opinion, it's an okay album. It's a good album, but I feel like there wasn't a bit much evolution for like the first half of the album, because the first half of the album to me is just, it's just a lot braggadocio rap, which I don't mind. Okay, I don't mind that, but I feel like it was just that for like the first half of the album. The second half of the album where we see Joey peel back the layers a bit of what's been going on in his life, him having a daughter, him still dealing with the death of one of his best friends, Capital Steez, and the loss of his cousin, who was like a brother to him, and how he's been dealing with that. I like that stuff because I can relate to that stuff. That always gets me in the feels. Um, I love some of the beats. I just feel like some of the ideas were left for more to be seen or more to be heard for me. But I enjoy this project. It isn't his best work to me. I still give that to as far as a full project goes. I still give it to All American Badass. I think that's more complete. Um, I like the fact that he had certain legends on this project. It was sort of like a cosign of like, yeah, we rock with Joey Badass. So we got Diddy on it, got Nas on it. Um, Kind of sad he didn't get Hove on it. That would have been cool. Like, oh, see, Hove was giving him that stamp of approval. But Diddy and Nas, not bad, not bad at all. Shoot, that's what you want in a damn New York album, you know? Hey, maybe even Jadakiss too. But hey, next time, Joey. Maybe in 2001.
That's kind of funny because I actually disagree with
Okay.
having those rappers there. Like having Diddy out of all people, like he wasn't the most abusive artist or producer at that time, taking all that money from other artists, which is just crazy that people still give him his flowers. Like, why? Like, you did good, but you did a lot more bad than good, okay? But
Hmm.
Diddy would still be an interesting person to meet, right?
Yes.
So that's how I feel. Diddy has an amazing voice, so him on top of it, like on a track, sounds like it needs to be there. I just wasn't too crazy about having different people have their own the commentary on the album. I think it's kind of unnecessary. I think this music speaks for itself because I
Mm.
think Joey did a good job choosing beats. A lot of these beats were produced by Stack Selecta or Chuck Strangers. I know the first track was produced by Eric, the architect from Flatbush Zombies, and in my opinion, this does fit the 2000s vibe. Like it does win in the 2000s appeal in certain departments. I think like the song "Show Me" was if you don't remember the song "Show Me," it's the song that feels the most Mac DeMarco.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it's because of the sample.
Yeah, because of the sample.
That sample, I know that sample. I hear it a lot on TikTok. So I'm like, oh, that song.
Yeah,
that vibey, sunsetty kind of sound. I'm
Sunset.
assuming. Yeah, I'm assuming that was the sample he was trying to clear.
Yeah, who knows? But I thought it was really interesting, and I do agree. The first half was very braggadocious, and the second half had a lot more experimental. Instead of like more modern, if anything. The production was more modern by the time you get to the second half, which was good because at a certain time you will feel bored listening to like your current artist listening to old beats. It's not the same thing, because if you listen to like old school Wu-Tang, you're not just listening to old Wu-Tang, you're listening to the old era, the old vibe, the old energy. And the old energy mixed with like listening to them today. That's why, if you listen to a new Wu-Tang song that comes out today, it just doesn't feel the same, because the chemistry just isn't there. There's no party, there's no group, there's no it's like listening to Odd Future, right? Like you remember when it was popping, so you can still listen to that music, but we listen to the current artist differently.
Exactly.
And that's
their
how
own identity.
By their own identity, because they're able to change. And that's how I feel about listening to Joey. Like some songs you're like, okay, and other songs I'm like, oh, this is great. Like I actually made a list of like good songs that I like Survival's a Guilt, Show Me, One of Us. Like those are great songs. I think you played Zip Codes.
I did play Zip Codes.
And that's like a great song. So there's a lot of good songs on the album that had like great beat production, especially like One of Us, probably the most late 90s, early 2000s song on the album, because it sounds like that R&B joints that's on like CW11 or those TV shows.
Yeah, featuring Larry June, which again was on the second half of the project.
Yeah, and it's one of those songs that fits perfectly when you're watching, like back then when there's a lot of black TV sitcoms.
Yes.
And most of the actors end up doing their own R&B videos.
Yes.
In the theme song. That's what I feel like that song is for. So I need someone to use this song for like a theme song.
Sometimes it'll be like season 2, season 3 of the show, and they come out with like the R&B remix.
Yes. Yeah.
Those are always my favorites, by the way. The R&B remix always kills it. Like I love the Smart Guy intro, but when they got into season 3 and they gave us the R&B intro, or Sister when they got into season 3 and stuff, and they did the sister remix, and then it was slowed down, and I got my own style in my own time. Yeah,
that's what I mean.
For the R&B remix, that would have been fire.
That's what I mean. It's like once you had that energy, it's like that's what I'm thinking about. So certain songs do fit, certain songs don't, because it doesn't have that. It's not a beat from the past. That it's not like he was rapping on like old J Dilla or like an old MF Doom beat where it already has its history and you're just putting him on top of it. But it's like, oh, it's a new song, reminisce of this past. All right, cool. But I do like this project. There's a lot of songs that are very like listenable and you can repeat on and on. Some songs you just want to skip. Like I'm happy that West Side Gun was on the song because
brand new 911 off the lot.
Add a lot of character to it. This is West Side Gun to it. But overall, and JID, he had a great verse as well.
Yes, that was one to be loved.
Overall, it's a good project.
It's a good project. Solid project. I give it a 7.
Yeah, me too. It's a good, solid project, and I do recommend people to check it out.
Definitely recommend people to take a listen to the new Joey Badass album. If you enjoy that old school flavor, definitely this album is for you. If you don't like that, then don't listen to it.
And now let's discuss one of the biggest albums that came out Friday. And quick story, Beyonce's Renaissance leaked like a couple days before it came out. And for it to leak, I found it very strange because we live in this post-streaming era where you would buy like the merch or whatever, and they'll send you the digital copy of it the day of,
The
and then
bundles.
the bundles, right? Before they even send you the bundle, they'll send you like the download MP3. You have 10 chances to download it. You download it, right? And then within a month or 6 to 8 weeks, that's when they send you that bundle, like the
Yeah.
actual clothes and the vinyl and stuff. And I was surprised that this album, and I think I should have understood once she dropped the single like 2 months ahead of schedule
Mhm.
compared to her last two projects where it's boom, album, right?
Yes.
In this album, Renaissance, they decided to go the old school way of releasing music. One single, and I think the old school is like 1, 2, 3, 4 singles, then the album. But this was one single, deluxe by here, and it's going to be released on this date. You have 2
Yes.
months to prepare. Old school style. And I guess the week of, like Monday, Tuesday, albums get released Thursday night, Friday morning. I saw on Tuesday, like, people had physical copies of the album. So it's like, oh, it's leaked. Once there's a physical copy out in the wild, someone has it downloaded and uploaded somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not, and I'm surprised that no one really leaked it on the timeline. Like, usually you could take snippets and put it in a little song, like what people are doing now, but it wasn't out there. And I didn't hear it either. I wasn't looking for it too. I was like, I'm just going to wait a couple of days and check it out.
Right. We're not part of the Beehive, so I honestly didn't know that it was leaked until Beyonce mentioned that it leaked.
It was big. It was huge, in my opinion. Out of, like I said, songs don't really leak anymore. They go buy this, send you an email, done, and we'll send you the physical thing in 6 to 8 weeks. Just like when I got Pusha T's album, right? I actually brought it back to New York. Same thing for Pusha T album. It took like 6 weeks to get it, so it didn't leak.
Right.
Anyways,
crazy.
yeah.
I guess people aren't actively looking for the leaks that much anymore, because I remember the Brent Faiyaz stuff leaked, but I didn't really care because it was going to be coming out on my phone. Like, because leaks back then meant you necessarily didn't have to buy the album, or you can get it for a lot cheaper than how much the album is really worth. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now music is so accessible on your phone. It's like this. You can get it within a touch of your finger, right? Back then, it's either you risk getting that damn virus on your computer and then, plugging in your little MP3 player or your iPod and then syncing it up and then putting it on your phone or onto your MP3 or iPod device, so you get the song that way. Now, because internet's on the phone and everything is so easily accessible, you can just wait for the finished product, so to say. And we're already paying for these streaming services, so you're gonna get the finished product. So I don't think it's that much of a need to go out and try and find it before the other person. That's just me.
Yeah, we're not in a rush right now. We could just sit back and wait Friday morning or after work on Friday. You could check it out. But Gio, when did you listen to it? Like Friday morning, Friday afternoon?
I listened to it on the bougiest way possible. I listened to it Friday evening while walking around Hudson Yards.
Gotcha. And I listened to it Thursday at 9 p.m. So midnight
Pacific time. So
yeah, Pacific
midnight here for everyone on the East Coast. Which I hate that, by the way. I can't stand that y'all have that luxury. I don't like it.
So I was able to listen to it 1.5 times before going to sleep. And I was already in a working mood. I was doing some design stuff. So I just needed a hype album, and I was kind of happy it fit the hypeness I expected it to be. And off the first listen, I was already in tuned. The first listen. I had no idea what she was talking about. I couldn't hear the lyrics the first listen. I think once you know where she's going sonically, then you could hear what she's saying. But the first time I listened to it, I had no idea what she was saying.
Mm.
but I like the beats. I like the samples. I like where she was going with everything. I like the transitions. And then the next day, when I finally heard the album again for like the third time, I was like, okay, I get it now. I get where she was going. Renaissance, I'm very interested in what it means in terms of this being Act 1. So there's 2 more acts coming right after.
Yeah.
So I knew I'm expecting an overarching theme. But yeah, let's get into yeah, what was your first listen like before we jump into the album?
So my first listen, again, I was at Hudson Yards, and I finally went to the mall that was around Hudson Yards. It's right by the Vessel. So for those of you who don't know, it's like a 4-story mall that they're still actively building other stores inside, but it's very bougie. Okay, it smells very rich in there. It's very luxurious. Okay, like the first couple floors is just nothing but luxury item shops. Okay, Cartier, Rolex, Givenchy, and damn Louis and Fendi, and all that stuff is there, right? So listening to this album while walking around that mall for the first time, I felt very ghetto fabulous. I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay. I just want to preface by saying, I think I talked about this initially when Break My Soul initially came out. I didn't like it. I didn't like the song. But hearing it within the context of the album, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty angry at myself on how much I love this damn album. It's so goddamn good.
I'm not mad
It's so
about
good.
enjoying Break My Soul now.
It's so good.
Because that's something I explained. Like I have my Beyonce theories. Like ever since she dropped Beyonce and then Lemonade and this one, it's like there's not a lot of singles that you have to force yourself to listen to a million times to love. And that's what I think that's what like pop music is too. It's like you listen to a pop song 100 times, you're going to enjoy it. And that's how I always consume like Beyonce music. I never listened directly to the entire album. It was just the singles. Then later on, I'll bump into the album somewhere and say, oh, this is okay. She always had amazing singles because you'll listen to a million times. But the albums for me were, I guess at the time of that age, I just didn't care.
Right, because as straight guys, the only time we really listen to Beyonce is either you hear it on the radio or you just hear it passing by, and we don't actively like go out to listen to Beyonce albums. You just hear Halo all the time.
I actually own Beyonce's first 2 albums and Destiny Child albums.
Destiny Child is different. That's different.
Okay, but I do own Beyonce's
Solo
first
Beyonce.
2 albums.
Okay, see, I didn't. Okay, no, I know the singles. That's it. I don't know. I don't know the B sides. I don't know I don't know all the intricate cuts. I don't.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like that's why I said. That's why I feel like I could have this theory. It's like I always think Beyonce is the best of the best, and of course in Alien Superstar, she definitely tells everybody she is the best. I always thought that she made great hits, but it's like just needed a way to do albums. Like I said, like once Beyonce came out, I thought like, okay, she's going to hit that point where it's just going to be top tier music. And this is a 3-peat. In my opinion, I give this a 3-peat. 4 was cool and all. There's a lot of singles, but this is the 3-peat.
Yeah.
The true 3-peat. And let's get into the album. This album is pop, R&B, dance, rap, house, deep house, dance pop. It's just a lot of dance music going on from track 1 all the way to track 16. It is a 1-hour project.
Yes. Funk and disco influenced as well.
A couple funk songs, a lot of disco. You're right. I do feel a lot of disco-esque music. It's not disco in the whole song,
things, but no, it's definitely influenced by disco as well. And when Beyonce did her thank yous and stuff, she really wanted to thank her godmother, so to say, right? Who was a big influence of her in her life,
and her uncle too.
Right. And listening to the album, I remember talking about this with my friend Julian. Shout out to my friend Julian. who is black and is a part of the LGBTQ community. So I felt safe in saying that to him. I was like, yo, this is probably one of the blackest, gayest things I've ever heard in my life. And I love it. He was like, yeah, yeah, you're right. And I thought it was freaking phenomenal. Like, I didn't expect to be dancing the way that I was grooving throughout the whole album. I wasn't really expecting the whole album to be that. You know what I'm saying? I know we got a glimpse of it with Break My Soul, but the full just the full experience and and how the tracks were able to layer itself and how it just blended into each other so smoothly, so effortlessly. I thought it was like it was an ear orgasm. Let's get into the damn tracks, man.
Yeah, let's get into it. The first song has a sample from Tommy Wright the Third, and I thought off rip was like, oh, this is how we're gonna start because I think I saw Tommy like tweeting about it on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I wonder like what sample is his music. It's like that old school South rap music, Southern music, and you can't find it on streaming. You can only find it on like YouTube and stuff. So that's how I found his music. It was by accident. Listen to like old Memphis music, and his song comes up in the playlist, and that's how the album starts. Like it's just the sample going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Then, in my opinion, I think this starts in a very calm, like definitely Mike Dean bass, preparing you for what the album's going to be.
This
So
is
like
setting the tone.
it's setting the tone. And I'm a big fan of Mike Dean. He's pretty much everywhere from Kanye West to Travis Scott. He's the reason bass sounds good on hip hop records. Okay, if you listen to a song and the bass is too good, it's Mike Dean. All right, just too good. And that song I had to replay it twice because I understood like what the song was trying to do. And then we get into Cozy, which is all about like loving oneself and being comfortable in one's skin.
Yes.
And just off like those two songs, I completely understood where the album was going.
Yes. Cozy, again, talking about being comfortable in one's skin, comfortable with, you know, themselves, their blackness, their heritage, where they're from, their lineage, all of that stuff. And again, some of the blackest stuff I've ever heard in this album. And Cozy is definitely part of that. Again, house track, uh, nice percussions, lot of drummage. Love that. Um, yeah, that's Cozy.
Yeah, and I was referencing Alien Superstar first, and I'm a big fan of the word superstar because it is pretty much breaking the glass ceiling in terms of what you could do. And I always talk about it in the NBA sense, right? It's like, is this player a superstar? Is this player a superstar? It's like, no, he's an all-star. That means he's really good. The superstar, there's something else. They're rare. And that's what this song is called, Alien Superstar. And she's talking about herself. And I have a quote. It's like, I'm too classy for this world. Forever, I'm that girl, right?
Yes. This is
And I thought that was fire. It's like, all right, this is the perfect ego song.
this is what you hear at the ball. This is what you hear at balls, right?
Yeah.
This is
yeah.
what you see people voguing to and all. This is it right here. I was like, yeah, y'all gonna go crazy for this one. I know people are gonna be walking through with this track, voguing with this track, freestyling with this track, all of that, whacking with this track. This
you know,
is
it's funny how you said like Joey's like first half was just like braggadocious.
Mhm.
Like I don't have a problem with braggadocious rap. Just make it sound cool.
Yeah, exactly.
make it sound cool, and that's what I felt like Alien Superstar is. So, like it's a braggadocious rap song, and she made herself sound real cool.
But it's
She's
also
a flex.
and it's also a dance track too. And here's something that I wanted to get into when it comes to a lot of these Beyonce tracks, the layering. Okay, yes, dance tracks and house tracks. There's a loop, but also within the loop, there's a bit of progression when it comes with a lot of the beats and the sounds. There's a different layer that's added, a different instrumentation that's added, a different it could be a different bass, it could be some other percussion, it could be something as light as a flute, just something that sort of adds to it that that changes up the sound a bit. and I think this album is really good at that. Damn it, it's really good at it. Okay, and that's why I was texting Bash. I was like, "This is what I was talking about. This was what I was talking about." Okay.
Before we get to your reference,
Yeah.
I agree with the layering, how you're describing the album, and listening to this album, it kind of reminds me of something Kanye said a long time ago about he spends at a certain point, you don't make you spend so much money making the album that you're not making a lot of profit of it. So if anything, it's a hindrance to make music because he loses money, right? That's what he said. So that got me thinking, like certain artists, and I think even Denzel Curry was complaining about that on Twitter a while ago and saying all these artists has money, why aren't they spending it in order to kind of add more to their music?
Right.
So when I'm listening to Beyonce, it's like she's spending money at the right place. She's spending money on the right people to know how to orchestrate and layer her music so it sounds full. The problem with trap music is, yeah, it's full, but the problem is it's the same song over and over and over again.
Yes.
So nothing is new. There's no need to layer it differently.
We know the elements.
It's the same sounds.
Yeah.
We know the elements of it, and that's why I always say Travis Scott, like he's the best of the best, because his stuff just sounds different. It's the same but different, and that's kind of what we kind of need in music. I'm a big fan of JPEG Mafia. I always recommend people listen to JPEG, and he's really good at that too. He knows how to layer and cut. Sounds like he's his own director and editor at the same time, and that's how I feel about this album too. It's as Gio said, it's layered well, and you feel there's a sense of something going on purpose. So when she's changing from the verse to the hook to the chorus, a lot of theme, a lot of theory going on. I don't know singing theory, but from what I'm reading, it's really good in this album. It's fun. It keeps you captivated. You're not bored.
Yes. You're not bored whatsoever. And I think Cuff It is also a great example of that because, it starts off with dance and then it gets more into disco and it gets more into, you get more funk with it as well.
Yeah.
The
funkiest track on the album.
I don't know who was that on the guitar, but I think I heard Nile Rodgers is on this project. I could be wrong, but that person on the damn guitar, I think that was Nile Rodgers. I could be 100%
I know
wrong.
Raphael Sadiq and Nile Rodgers. Yep. Guitar, Nile Rodgers, and
I know my
Raphael Sadiq is also on there too.
I know my ish.
Raphael Sadiq is a great bass player. Is a great musician as well. So for him to be on this album
live, so yes, he's.
Oh, word. Okay, so
he's incredible.
Yeah, so he's. I heard that he's like sprinkled on this album too. So that should be
okay.
So but yeah, that's where you get the funk element.
Yes, it's one of the funkiest tracks off the album. Cuff Up. We go up tonight, take flight. I love the chorus as well. And then I think and just when you thought it couldn't get any better, it blends so well within to Energy, right? Which
I just want to quickly say the dream is sprinkled. Yes. The dream is sprinkled throughout the album too.
As a producer.
As a producer, and probably as a writer too.
100%. Yeah, he's written these definitely.
You're right. There is this 3-track smoothness between Cuff It, Energy, and Break My Soul.
Absolutely, because it just flows so well into Energy where it got into this sort of Afrobeat sort of sound too. You know what I mean? And again, I just thought like I was just listening to one large track. Like I didn't know that I was going into different tracks up until we got into Break My Soul. I still thought I was on Cuff It. And then I was looking at the track. I was like, oh, this is something new. I just thought this was like we're going back to the old school 70s where we're doing 6-minute tracks again. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm here for it as long as it's sounding like this. But then we have Energy, which has been heavily quoted a lot on Twitter. Bastion has sent me a lot of quotes. A lot of memes.
Yes, Energy. And Energy is the song with the Khalees.
Yes, of Milkshake. Which is now no longer there.
Which is just a small, maybe it's an interval of the drum of the song.
Yes.
and I made sure to listen to it, and I was like, oh, okay. And I understand like what she was complaining about, but reading other people in the industry's perspective on it is pretty interesting because in all her music from her first album, she's not a writer. She's just a singer on it.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't have full credit, which is I think messed up. And I understand what she's complaining about. But other than that, like you had Chad Hugo and Pharrell listed and not her. I think they gave her credit initially,
Mm-hmm.
but in order to deal with the situation, Beyonce moved it not to diss Khalees, but to
No.
kind of understand what she's upset about, that she's getting no money from it, and just removed it altogether.
Right. I find it crazy how this is an album where she wants you to dance and like be happy and stuff. This is the album with the most controversy ever in Beyonce like discography history. I
I
thought
won't
that was
call it. I
interesting.
won't. I don't think it's just controversy. I think it's just things people just need to talk because it doesn't
Controversy
affect
in
the
a way of
music.
that. Oh, it doesn't affect the music
Yeah.
whatsoever, but controversy in a way of, it's getting a lot of attention for just like stuff that I think that it isn't. Let me see. Let's see. How can I word this? Not that it's not important, but normally albums and songs would get attention for an offensive lyric or or maybe how bad an album is or something like that. But when an album is to me this good and this album's about dancing and loving yourself and all that stuff, I didn't think we would get so much damn traction from, I guess it is sort of controversy in a way of, Khalees, and then Beyonce had to remove a specific offensive word
Well,
from
that's what I mean because I don't call it like controversy because one thing that's very important to understand is Twitter isn't the universe. Twitter
I know that.
is a place that most people pay attention to all the time, aka us, but most people don't. So they don't know anything that's going on. They don't know about the Khalees situation, and they probably won't even tell the difference because the drums are so behind the bass as well.
I didn't get it.
So
I didn't get
I
that
can
stuff from Twitter. Actually, I got it from like music sites like
no,
that.
I understand that too. Like people looking at the
Beyonce
I'm
because
talking
it's
about people
Beyonce.
looking at the internet. Not
Okay,
everybody's as involved in the
my
internet
bad.
as
Because you
us
said Twitter.
millennials.
Yeah, because you said
So
Twitter. It's like I actually didn't get it from Twitter. But yes.
so but hey, those things are popping off because of the energy of the clicks from Twitter. So it the algorithm works the same way.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it. It's not controversial in the way where like people are protesting outside the concert saying you're the devil. It's not like Tyler getting banned from Australia. That's controversial.
Yeah. I thought it was
So
New Zealand.
New Zealand, same thing. Anyways, not the same
No,
thing.
it's
Not
not
the
the
same
same thing. That was Bastion who said it.
thing. I
Y'all are
don't.
not the same.
I don't care. They stole that land. Anyways, um, Break My Soul. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. Skrillex has production credit in Energy.
Wait,
I would like.
what?
Yeah, so that's cool.
Interesting.
Break My Soul. It's funny because, as you said before, the transition is so good. It sounds like it makes a song sound better and makes sense.
Yes.
My problem with it is it's so good. I thought this isn't the same song, and when I went back to listen to the single, it's the same song. So it's the brainwashing. I don't know. I do think fitting in the context is very important.
Super important.
The first time, and you probably feel the same way, was Kendrick Lamar's Backseat Freestyle. That song came out as the second single, and people were like, "Wow, this album's gonna be trash." And then when we heard the album, it's like, no, Backseat Freestyle makes the most sense as track
Yes.
3. So
And even
yeah.
going back to Joey Badass with All American Badass, one of his singles was Devastated, where it was very singy. Tonight will be devastated.
I like
And
that song like a year later.
right. But see, even then, right, people had an issue with that song. People thought this new album was Joey turning over a new leaf, and people thought the album would suck, right? And then he dropped All American Badass. But within the context of the album, it made a lot more sense, and it made me appreciate the song more. It didn't make me like the song a lot more, but I appreciate it because of the context that it fit within the song. And that's what Break My Soul did. Well, the placement of Break My Soul, energy with it, and then transferring into Break My Soul, I was like, oh shoot, damn, this is pretty tight. Damn, this is really good. Damn it, damn it. All right, B, you got me, B, you got me. I like the song. I just have to listen to energy to get to Break My Soul. I'm not listening to Break My Soul just like that.
I could listen to Break My Soul just like that now. It, like I said, that's just how pop music is. But I put Beyonce in a different box because, like, just listening to it over and over, it just becomes addicting. And this song has a soul on its own. Then we transition to the next track, Church Girl, which is probably one of my favorite songs on the album because of the energy that it's giving off.
Yes, this is the song where, you don't see the girls, shake it to. This is the song you wanna, politely ask a woman that if you want to dance to this song too. This is it right here.
Yeah.
Drop it like a thotty. Drop it like a thotty.
Yeah, and I think those tracks between Church Girl going to Plastic Off the Sofa and Virgo Groove definitely has that. This is the time to dance at 110%, like the sweat. I'm kind of interested in how she's going to perform all these songs.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of dancing, or, when we go to a rap show and we kind of want the crowd to like just push on each other, to shove and everything. I feel like some of this music kind of could work the same way too, but the audience doesn't fit. You won't have that same audience.
Oh, I want there to be a disco ball. 100. If there's no disco ball, I will be disappointed.
People don't disco. People don't dance.
People don't disco. Oh,
the average person doesn't dance.
Well, people in New York, we still dance here, Bastion.
At a concert.
At a concert? I've never actually been to a real Wait, the only concert I've actually been to was with you, and that was MGMT, and people were dancing.
They were grooving. They weren't dancing. They were grooving. They were grooving through their college days.
I was dancing.
In a room full of 30-year-olds.
Yes, I was dancing.
Nothing against it. It's just they didn't appreciate the music.
No, I want a disco ball for this concert. Damn it, we are dancing. I don't care. We're dancing. Y'all need to stop being afraid of dancing. Okay, put down the damn phone and dance. Okay, enjoy life. If this album teaches you anything, okay, dance. Enjoy being in the moment. Listen to the instrumentation. Plastic Sofa, which is like the slow down track. You know what I'm saying? This is the vibey track. This is I call it the cool down song, right? Which is a great cool down song. And then, damn.
One of your favorite singers got production on it.
For a Plastic Sofa? Who?
Sid.
The Kid?
Yeah.
I love Sid.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
And Sabrina Claudia is also on this track too as well. She has a background vocal.
Oh, wow. I'm surprised she's still relevant.
What do you mean? She's huge.
Okay.
All right, you're right. She's all right. You're right. But I think she has a great voice. I don't listen to her music. That's funny. She's still relevant. All right, no comment on that.
Exactly.
Anyways, let's get into the track. I was surprised. Move. With Grace Jones and your favorite singer Thames.
Love Thames.
And I'm kind of surprised that Grace Jones is on there because I think she's one of the artists that people try to be like, and when they try to talk to her, it's like, you're not it.
It's like Prince.
It's like Prince. Yeah, she has that Prince. If anything, you could say Prince has that Grace Jones vibe in terms of like, you're not on my level, and I see you trying.
Grace Jones, Prince, David Bowie.
You're trying too hard. I think David Bowie is probably a little bit nicer. Like, he's cool with like working with you. RP David Bowie. But I was kind of surprised to see Grace Jones on the track. But that's cool. That's like, if you get Grace Jones on the track, that means like she likes you and stuff, because she don't like a lot of people. I remember watching her interviews just dissing like Lady Gaga, for example.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I've seen a lot of Lady Gaga. I think Prince even dissed Lady Gaga too.
you know, but
I think it was something in the line of, I don't really, I'm a real artist, so I make music, something like
yeah,
that, some wild. I was like, hey, you can do it, Prince. Prince could get away with it.
yeah. But this was another great song, and
Hmm.
everything just keeps you in the moment. I do think I'm a bigger fan of the first half because that's how I listen to music. At a certain point in time, I could probably listen to the album for like 30 minutes and stop, then go back to it and press play again, and then it's
Right.
just the first half. So for me, getting into the second half, I have to literally start the album from track 7 or track 9 in order to get used to the second half.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I peaked. I think Virgo's Groove was my peak. Like
Hmm.
that was hearing that track. I was upset. I was upset at Virgo's. I was upset at Beyonce. I was just upset. I was I played the out of that song. Do you understand me? Like it was sickening how much I repeated that song. It was to me, hence the name, the most grooviest, nastiest, horniest track I've ever heard from Beyonce. All right, this is a track that makes you want to do some hallucinogens. Like I see purple when I hear this song. I see purple. I see a lot of silk sheets. I see a lot of
Okay,
I see a lot of hallucinogens and medicinals and baby oil.
interesting description.
Yeah. She said kiss me where you bruised me. I'm like, yo, whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised the direction she's going as an artist, and
Beyonce's 40, she don't give a I like
no,
it.
no. That's the thing. It's like I'm all for it. I'm all for it, and I'm kind of surprised.
I am too.
And
This is what I'm not used to this Beyonce. We've known Beyonce since 1999, 1998. Okay? I'm not
yeah,
used to this. She's a mommy.
that doesn't mean anything.
That
But
it should mean a lot more.
I don't know. I think she's treated that in the previous album, and this one is more of I'm partying because
Yeah.
I don't think there's any like parent rap in this album,
She
right?
doesn't rap at all.
No, in terms of like parent being a parent and talking.
Right.
I
Yeah.
was just making a reference to like 440, like
444.
the
She
Jay
doesn't
Z
mention blue
doing
at
some
all.
dad rap and something like that.
Yeah. She doesn't mention blue at all.
No, that's what I mean. It's like there's no reference of being a mother in this album. I think the
No.
last album was more of that, and definitely in Beyonce.
But again,
Uh,
this is only part one.
this is part
Act
one, so,
one.
but the next track, Heated,
Yes.
and we're just gonna finish the review the end of the show. So Heated was the track with your boy Aubrey, getting some writing credit, which could lead into the theory that he knew what Beyonce was cooking to make him drop Honestly Nevermind like immediately.
Yeah. And see, when I was going on that rant a couple months ago and I said, hey, this is very bare bones and I don't appreciate it because Drake has made better house music, this is exactly what I was talking about. This album right here, the transition, the layers, um, just the production
You said
value.
Drake doesn't have enough layers.
No, not at all. And this is someone again who made Passion Fruit. So I was highly disappointed and upset with him for coming out with that bare bones ass of an album because you know what? Because Beyonce dropped this, and I was like, this is the difference right here. And yes, I can compare them because these are old dance tracks. These are house influenced. It's all of that crap. Okay. Drake only rapped at the last part, at the last track. So yes,
Was
I'm
Sticky is not a
comparing
rap
it.
song?
Huh?
Sticky
Jimmy
is
Cook,
not rap. Sticky.
Sticky?
Yeah.
He does rap.
All
He
right.
does. He does. But of course the instrumental,
Yeah.
the
Dun, dun,
it's
dun, dun,
still
dun, dun,
house.
dun,
Yeah,
dun. Yeah.
right.
Pretty straightforward.
Which is still
Um.
one of the best tracks off that album. And I saw the video not too long ago.
And another song I want to reference is "America Has a Problem,"
Yes.
and I thought that song was fire.
Fire
Like,
song. She didn't talk about the problem, but
yeah, no,
it's
well,
still a
she did
fire
talk
song.
about the problem. She is the problem. Beyonce is the problem. She is the drug, and she's addicting. And I'm gonna quote what she says, like, "Your ex dealer's dope, but he ain't crack enough. I'm supplying my man. I'm in demand as soon as I land." So it's like, all right, bet. So America has a problem, and you could say this is a ballad of the '80s drug issue or drugs during the disco era, but it's probably not.
It's not at all. Okay.
It's another braggadocious song, and
You get a pass.
it's like a Alien Superstar, but in a very funny way. Because I remember when people were looking at the track list and they saw America Has a Problem, it's like, oh, we're gonna get another Formation,
Right.
and
Bro.
I think no, it's not. It's not Formation. It's the opposite of Formation.
Right. But we basically wind down most of the album. Bastion, what are your thoughts on Act 1 Beyonce Renaissance?
Oh, this is all around like a very good album. First listen, second listen, third listen just gets better. This album actually gets better the more you listen to it. I might give this shit like a straight up a 9 out of 10. Could be the end of the year. I could give it a straight 10 once I really really listen to it. But yeah, wasn't expecting this album. I wasn't expecting the theme show she was going for, and as you said, the layering, the way she layers it, the hooks, the chorus, the subject matter, it's perfect.
I agree with you, Bastion. I was not expecting this at all. And honestly, I'm upset because throughout the year, I was just fighting between these two albums. Every day it just changed for me. One day it was this album. The next day, my favorite album was this album. Beyonce just came in and she just bum rushed all of that. So now I'm going to be fighting with these three albums right here. Like, oh, what's my favorite album so far? It's these three right here. And I didn't expect that, honestly. And again, I just want to thank 2022 for just blessing us with some great ass music.
Yeah, a lot of good music this year. You're right. I don't know what my favorite album is this year, and it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, it keeps every day it changes. Like yesterday I said The Weeknd, and then tomorrow's still going to be like Denzel Curry, or you know what I'm saying? And then tomorrow it might be Beyonce. Damn, that would be crazy if Beyonce hits my number one.
We'll see. We have a couple months left until December, so
that's right.
You have to see.
JID, you better do something, damn it! You better
the game is gonna
get
drop.
in the studio or something.
So this is Black Seinfeld, show about absolutely nothing. Please follow us on our social media, Instagram and Twitter at Black Seinfeld NY. BlackSeinfeld.com is in repair right now. I'm fixing it. I think I could get it done by the end of next week. So you can stay tuned for that. We are on YouTube. Please check us out. Just go on YouTube and type in Black Seinfeld. You'll be able to find our content. And if you have any questions, if you want to talk to us or give a shout out, if you have music you want us to play on the radio, just let us know at blackseinfeldny@gmail.com. Gio, do you have anything to say to the people before we go?
Thank you all so much again for sticking with us throughout the technical difficulties. We apologize again. Hopefully next week it will be a lot smoother. Fingers crossed. Happy August once again. We're going out to, again, my favorite track of the album. This is from Beyonce, Virgo's Groove. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. We'll see you all again next week. Peace.